Good morning and welcome. It is Monday, the 11th of July. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Okay, coming up today, we've got the review of yesterday. We've got also a longer review of Saturday because I didn't do much of that yesterday. We'll have a review of the golf, a review of Wimbledon, and on this very quiet Monday, I actually have one bet, but it's quite a big price, lucky 31. So that is my one bet coming up today. So it's a £10 stake, half stake day. Big prices. One's a single figures, the others are double figures. So I've had a route around and I'm happy with what I've come up with. Albeit when you're playing with these big prices, as we all know, it can go wrong very, very quickly. I'm trying to beat the market here, not necessarily play statistical advantage. So there's a couple of my rank outsiders in their races. So that is coming up. All right, review of yesterday to start with. So yesterday, I know not everybody was on because the video was out quite late yesterday. I had like a family thing Saturday night, went into Sunday morning, and basically sometimes in life you have to prioritise family over doing a YouTube channel, quite rightly. So there's no real apologies there other than trying to have a life as well as do this. So we ended up yesterday 15 on 10.89, 10.89 back. So if you didn't do it, then all you did is missed a couple of quid loss. So the first bet we had yesterday was this Deauville one, we got nothing back on it. The first leg didn't run very well, Mangosteen. But then, if you actually look at the results, Prince Lancelot and Sonata Ultima were very, very short lengths of a horse. I think that was about a head and a neck, something like that, away from placing at decent prices. And then Bats was about half a length, so it was close, but nothing really there. And then these worked out reasonably okay yesterday. So Fairy House was the cross doubles. So we had Secret Road second and Caesar's Comet fifth. So that was two legs up, going on to Storm Steps, which placed. So we had two placed doubles on the cross doubles, which made it a profitable bet. So that was decent enough. And then Bet Free started off nicely. Skipping Court was 25 to 1 at 8:30 in the morning. By the time I did the video at 2 o'clock, it was 9s, and it SP'd at 13 to 2 and won comfortably. Cracking little run, that one. But then unfortunately we had a couple of, that was faded, that never got into it, and then Quaker Island snagged fourth, which was good enough for some bookies but not all. It worked for Sky Bet, so overall it made the bet slightly profitable, but because of the Deauville bet it was down. So 15 on 10.89 back. And I'm just going to do a whiz through Saturdays because I didn't do it in much detail, but it was Saturday was one of them days, just was quite painful at points. And the luck was out, and then finally the luck turned in the end, and we'll get to that. So we had Victoria Grove as a dud, Gadbarn was a dud, Creative Force placed, and then Empanina placed. Not quite sure how many bookies paid it, but it was a great little nice double there, Creative Force and Empanina. So 33s and 5s. Creative Force SP'd 9 to 2. But yeah, Empanina was fourth, and that paid out quite a few bookies. So that was a nice little one, landed there as a place double. That was sort of towards the end of the day. This bet was a bit of a write-off. We had legs 2 and 4, I think, were the only ones that placed. That was rubbish. Then in this lucky, Get Ahead, that it got impeded really in its run, so that cost it getting a chance of a place. Attorney, that did place, and then Cockalorum was close but not close enough. It was 9th. It was half a length from 7th, which would have paid out on I think it was Hills and Sky Bet. So the reality is it was a place single, but if luck was on our side a little bit more, it could have been a bit more on that one. I mean, Pockley, actually look at the overall race, it didn't finish very well at all, but it was the draw. It was a massive draw bias in that race from a pace point of view, and Pockley was on the wrong side. So that was Bet Free. Bet 4, Saluti. Oh, Saluti. I was wincing. So good enough. 7th was good enough. And it SP'd at 80 to 1, and it was a neck, I think, in the end. It missed on 7th. gutting 80-1. That would have been a really nice little start there. Il Bandito didn't run well. Marie's Diamond wasn't good, but Danzan did place. So that was a single there, close. Saluti would have really changed the day. And that one place would have made a massive difference. And then here, so we had Saluti just got missed out, Get Ahead impeded, which was frustrating, particularly when we had the Attorney and Ropey Guest both place in that second leg. So we would have had some really nice cross doubles landed had we had a better result in that first one. So it's all slim margins. And then here we did have Ropey Guest place and Estepona Sun place, which I really like that horse. It was 25s the night before and he got SP'd at 11s, but you definitely could have got about 20s after I'd done the video, so I'm hoping some people did. But it got snagged on the line by its own stablemate on a short head. I was gutted. I really thought that was there. A certain lad wasn't there, so we got a place double on the Trixie for that. And then we talked about most of this. Cockalorum was close but not there. The others weren't, and then we only had Danzan place. So this wasn't less good, this bet 7. And then we finished it off, our saver bet for the day, Estepona Sun. It was there again, so that got done. And the difference, if that had actually won as well, that would have been a huge difference, but it got snagged. Canoodled placed. Diocletian was the non-runner, and then it was only a non-runner about 5 minutes after upload, so I'm really hoping most people put in the replacement horse I put out there, Wiki Wheels, that went and won at about 10s, and then Willing to Please was placed down into 7-1. So for the channel bets, this ended up as a place treble with a non-runner. For anyone else, pretty much, I think it would have been a quadruple place with a winner. So I worked out from a channel point of view. We made a small profit on the day, but I think you would have been about £40 to £60 better off, depending what prices you got, by doing Wiki Wheels in that race. So the channel stats basically had Saturday as a small win and overall last week as a loss. But I think if you'd done the Wiki Wheels bet, you probably should be around about even, somewhere £10 up or down between. So frustrating it's not on the channel stats, because it just statistically it sort of carries on our poor run, but I know the most people will have got that. So it was a nice bet landed to save the day. It is amazing sometimes how these things happen. You put these bets in for a reason, that if it's all lost, at least there's something to go on to. And happened a bit at Ascot. We had a bit of luck in the Irish meetings of my saver bets there. So that was that. So I got Saturday as, for the channel, 35 on, 45 back. But I think, as I said, I think most people would have probably got between 85 and 105 back total. So frustrating, but the point is, most people should have benefited. So that's all I'm really, to be honest, really that fussed about. So that was that. And then for the week, then the channel ended up minus 50 on the horses. But as we said, it's probably more about break even, I think. Minus 50 on the horses, which wasn't good from a statistical point of view. Then we roll into the tennis, which the end there was 10 on, £2.13 back was the total. So I've added that into last week's profit and loss. And then we had the golf, which was we just had nothing going on at all in the golf. So the only thing we ended up getting for the channel was 46 pence, because Tristan Lawrence was tied third best South African. So a 46 pence return for the £12 bet on the golf. So overall, that put the channel down for the week. We were down for the week, and then for the month of July we were £10 up. We are now, I think it's overall £60 down, something like that for July. From a channel point of view, the statistics are now looking at February, March, April, May, June, July. I'm on like a right slope. So I really need to probably go and have a look at February, March and see if there's anything actually different I was doing with the channel bets. I don't think there is, to be fair. I mean, I've made subtle changes that most people haven't noticed along the way, because it's just trying to refine what I'm doing to try and fit the channel model. In essence, I'm focusing on value on the channel. That's what I do off the channel, but there's other types of things that I do that just aren't channel appropriate, and I've tried those a few times on the channel, and so I'm always tweaking. So yeah, we're starting the new week with a fresh with our new bet. So what have we got? I need to find it on my pad. 10 minutes into the video, blooming hell, sorry about that. I didn't mean to go on so long. Sometimes I can just bang on a bit. Anyway, here it is. Here's today's bet. Here's your Monday bet. That's where we're at. We've got 225 as the first leg at Ayr. Wrecked It Ralph 16s. Then we've got the 555 Wolverhampton Captain Haddock. That's the small price one at 7s. Then the 605 Windsor Lothian at 25s. And then the 735 Windsor Grandfather Tom 16s. The 815 Killarney Bora Empress. So a couple of flags. So one is these two are the Windsor ones are the two rank outsiders that I'm taking on basically. I think there's stuff in there that says they are overpriced. The top three have all got an extra place with Sky Bet compared to anybody else. So the leg 4 standard terms, because it's only 6 runners, and most bookies are 4 on that bottom one. But Sky are 5 places on the first leg, and they are 4 on the next 2. So it's definitely worked better with Sky, this bet. I would put it on with other bookmakers, hence I'm putting it on here. So I've done it as a 15p each way, lucky 31. And I've done the additional double that's left over to make it £10 on the 2 that I think have got the best value. So that's an additional 35p each way double on Wrecked It Ralph and Lothian. So that is the bet. In terms of, what do we need here to get over the line for a profit for the day? 3 out of 5 places or 2 winners. That is what we need, or 1 win in the right place might be enough, but 3 places, 2 winners on this bet. At these prices, are we going to get 2 winners? It's very unlikely according to the betting gods. So, you do look like you're playing for places here, but statistically, where these fall in the betting market, none of these will get placed. That is what the betting market says. Captain Haddock's probably borderline. But that's so statistically, the betting market says that will scrape a place, the others won't. That's what I'm trying to do ultimately. That's the game here. We're trying to beat the fact that that's what the betting market says. All right, that is my bet. Outlook for this week. It doesn't look like there's much going to go on this week in terms of quality. There might be some big fields, some of the Irish meetings as we go, but I definitely think there's going to be a lower outlay of money this week compared to last week. So we ended last week with some nice meetings where we were doing stake and a half, and we ended up staking 3/4 on Saturday. There'll be a lot less of that this week. It is the Open Golf that starts on Thursday, so I will be having a right good go to see what I can find in the Open Golf. It is the only tournament I'm going to have a bet on this week, so the Open Golf is the only one, and I'm hoping I haven't looked yet for the side market stuff. I'm going to see if I can find a bet that I'm happy enough with for the side market. All right. That is me. I'll leave it there. That was a lot longer than I intended, particularly when I've just got one bet. But I hope you have a lovely start to your week and you don't melt too much if you are in any of the places that is currently going for a heat wave. But there we go. All right, let's start the week on a positive. But at those prices, who knows what's going to happen? Thanks very much. Cheerio.